Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm here to talk about a 1969 album by George Harrison that was released during the Beatles' time, the very last year of the Beatles. The album is called Electronic Sound, and it features the Moog synthesizer. And George Harrison was the first Beatle to feature the Moog synthesizer on Abbey Road and to play all the parts. Also, he used the Moog synthesizer to create this full album of the Moog synthesizer played by him and I believe one other person. It was called Electronic Sound. George did draw these pictures here on the cover and also on the back, which is awesome, I believe. And I love this stuff, and because he's generally not known for his artwork. Okay, and so then they go into the book, and this is on CD, the Moog synthesizer, and he had it come over from England to England, and I love this album because it's so much fun. So Donnie Harrison, I remember one day as a teenager sitting with my dad as we went through a bunch of old frame art that sat in a corridor of the part of the house that I have moved back into, having returned from my first year at university. There, leaning against a wall, looking rather neglected, sat a wonderful psychedelic painting on aesthetic. I immediately asked, "Oh, can I have this?" To which he responded, yeah, sure," hesitantly. "That's my painting that I did for the cover of Electronic Sound." "Cool," I said, nodding as if to imply I knew everything vaguely that he was talking about. Then he went noodled back at me, knowing full well I had no clue, but would probably work it out eventually due to my own sense of curiosity, as it was one of his stranger drawings I've ever seen to date. So it goes on to say things about, there's George at Apple with 1969 holding the art. George during the recording of Abbey Road, where he was the first Beatle to ever use a synthesizer. He was always on the cutting edge. He also, of course, brought the sitar and Indian music. Recording notes, and then the Beatles with Paul McCartney in the background, Ringo and George Martin working. And he had to do all these knobs to get the correct sound. It's a really fun release. If you enjoy this kind of thing, you're gonna have a great time. I'm a musician myself, and I have keyboards, and it's beautiful. All right, hope everybody has a great day. Bye-bye.